What's going down, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another haircut tutorial for you guys. Now this haircut is going to be a mid-ball fade with the side hooks lined up, the little C cups, and then a number 3 on top. And my client also has a cowlick in the front of his lineup, and I'm going to also show you guys how I typically deal with cowlicks. Now my first guideline is going to be Oster Fast Feed Lever Closed. This is how I typically start out all my fades, and as you guys will notice, I kind of bring the fade downwards, kind of drooping towards his neck. That's only to keep the fade lower. It's going to be a mid-ball fade. Now basically what this first guideline dictates how high your fade is going to be. If you want a lower fade, you want to bring this guideline lower to the bottom of his neck. If you want a high fade, take the guideline up a little bit higher. Simple as that. My next guideline is going to be a number 1 guard on my Oster Fast Feed with the lever all the way open, and I like to call this guideline my foundation. Basically what that means is I'm creating a foundation in the middle of the fade where I can either work the fade going upwards, or I can work off this guideline going down. So after this, I'm going to slap on a number 2 guard and blend out the top portion of the fade from this long number 1 into the top of the head, and then from that foundation, if I want to blend out the bottom of the fade, which I will eventually do, all I have to fade up into is a long number 1, so it makes it super easy. And like I told you guys, from that foundation, I blended up into the long number 3. Now I just have to blend the bottom of the fade into the long number 1. So I'm going to open up my lever on my fast feed, no guard, make another guideline, and then come back down, open and close that lever to fade out between the first guideline that we created with the no guard all the way closed into the open. And really all that's left for this fade is to knock out the line in between no guard open and our foundation guideline, which was a number 1 guard open. So this is a number 0 guard or a number 116 guard. We're going to open and close the lever to knock out the line in between those 2 layers. And after that, there was a faint line in between no guard open and that 116 guard. So I'm going to go back in with no guard open and lightly buff that line out. And as you guys can see right here, there's a dark line in between 116 guard and the number 1 guard. So I'm going to switch to my Andis Masters because the blade opens up a little bit longer than the fast feed does. So it's a perfect transition between the 116 guard and the number 1 guard. And as far as the back of the head goes, it's the same exact steps, but I like to put more work in the back of the fade because there's naturally going to be more dark spots. The hair is going to be tougher to work with in the back of someone's head. Any barber will tell you that. I don't know what it is about the hair in the back of the head. It just grows a little bit thicker. It creates more dark spots naturally. So you're going to have to put a little bit more work into the blend in the back of the head, but it's typically the same steps as the side of the head. Alright, so I get a lot of questions why I switch in between my clippers when I'm doing someone's fade. Like, I'll start out with the fast feed, I'll switch to the masters, go back to the fast feed, and it's simple. So this is a long number 2 on an Oster fast feed. The guideline underneath that was a long number 1. So in between those 2 layers, a long number 1 and a long number 2, there's going to be a faint line that I need to take out. And I can't think of anything more perfectly to take this out than a long number 1 on my Andis Master, because the Andis Master blade opens up a little bit longer than the fast feed long number 1. So it just blends out this line perfectly. Vision made. And like I told you guys, my client does have a cowlick in the middle of his lineup. His hair is growing in every type of different direction you can think of. So when I did go against the grain with the number 3 guard closed, these hairs right here weren't able to be cut because they're growing in a different direction. So I need to match that direction by going with the grain with the number 1 guard open. Essentially, what I'm trying to explain to you is a number 1 guard open with the grain is the same length as a number 3 guard against the grain. So I'm just matching the length of the hairs that were growing in a different direction. And after you get his top line looking cool, we're going to work on the side C cups. Now all you want to do is keep these a little bit natural, but you want to have them looking sharp. Try to imagine like a C shape, as if, let's just imagine my client had a beard and his sideburns traveled around the side of his cheeks. You want to imagine that C cup down into the beard. So it's simple, just create like a C shape, keep it natural, but also keep it sharp. And as you guys know, I'm partnered with the Easy Blade Shaving Products. This is Easy Blade Shaving Gel. Whether or not I'm sponsored by this company or not, I think you should be using shaving gel, especially on the C cups. And I can't express this enough. When I was starting out, I would always cut somebody with the razor when I was lining up their C cups, because the temple area, it kind of protrudes in, like the skull kind of has like a dent in it towards the temple area, obviously. So when you're trying to line it up with the straight razor, you naturally have to bend the razor kind of, and that's how I was typically nicking my clients. But with shaving gel, it softens up the hair. It allows the razor to glide easier. So you eliminate that tug and you eliminate that risk of nicking someone in the temple area. And to finish off this look, I'm going to apply some EZ Blade hair gel. Now, this is by far my favorite product from EZ Blade. The smell alone is amazing. I don't know if the gel is water-based because it doesn't have a sticky touch to it, but it also locks the hair in place. And not only that, like, it kind of acts as a pomade because it leaves the hair with a deep shine. So just go cop some products. That's by far my favorite one, but they have a whole list of products. And I also do have a 10% off promo code for you guys at checkout. Type in eJonesTV and you'll receive 10% off your whole purchase at EZBladeShavingProducts.com.